Wiggle, wiggle fingers right up to the sky. Wiggle, wiggle fingers and wave them all goodbye. Wait a minute. What's going on? I think we're stuck in a mixed up story time. Well, we're just going to have to see how it goes today and see what happens. There was a teeny tiny man who loved to do handstands. Can he do it today? Maybe. Oh, almost. Oh, not today. The only other thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. And sit back down. Oh, a princess made lemonade, and the giant did not behave. The only thing that she could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown, and sit back down. Chameleon didn't know what to do until one day he discovered the zoo. The only other thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown, and sit back down. There was a girl from France who didn't know how to dance. The only other thing that she could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown, and sit back down. I think it's just about time for the pirate song. Are you ready? When I was 3, I tapped my knee on the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, "Oh, you'll go this way, that way, forwards, backwards, over the deep blue sea." When I was 2, I tied my shoe on the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, "Oh, you'll go this way, that way, forwards, backwards, over the deep blue sea." When I was 1, I sucked my thumb on the day I went to sea. I jumped aboard a pirate ship, and the captain said to me, "Oh, you'll go this way, that way, forwards, backwards, over the deep blue sea." Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for keeping up with me. We've got a great story time today, and I wanted to start with The Other Side of Town by John Aggie. I think you're going to love it, and it goes like this. Well, you know me. I drive a cab in the big city, New York City, the Big Apple. It's a pretty good job. I get a lot of interesting people in my cab, sometimes some celebrities. But I wanted to tell you about one lousy day I was having. It started off bad with a flat tire right off the bat. All my fares have been lousy, and the tips, nothing to mention. Well, after lunch, things got strange. this odd-looking character gets into my cab and he says, "Hey, take me to Schmeeker Street." And I said, "Schmeeker Street? You mean Bleecker Street." "No, Schmeeker. It's on the other side of town." Well, I told him, "If you can get me there, I'll take you." "All right." So we get in the car, we're driving through town, we go past the bus station, past the junkyard, past the quarry, all the way out to the water. And I said, "This must be the other side of town now." "Nah." "What are you talking about?" And then he pulled out a funny looking remote control and he hit a button that said enter. Well, all of a sudden this wall disappeared and there was a big tunnel. And he said, "Keep going." So I drove right into the tunnel. And I said, "What is this place, man?" And he said, "The Finken Tunnel." I said, "Finken? You mean Lincoln Tunnel." "Nah, Gabe Finken. He's famous on the other side of town." Okay, well, we're driving along through the Finken Tunnel, and all of a sudden it turns into this crazy maze with these big black spots all over. And he says, "Watch out for the spot holes." And I said, "Oh man, you mean potholes." "Nah, spot holes." Okay. And then he says, "Turn on your snog lights." "Snog lights? You mean fog lights." "Oh, let me guess. They're really popular on the other side of town, right?" Well, we're driving along, and all of a sudden, ka-thunk, we ended up on the other side of town through a spot hole. And we're looking around, there's traffic everywhere, and he says, "It must be mush hour." "Mush hour? You mean rush hour." "Nah, mush." Well, I guess things are a little different on the other side of town. So I dropped him off where he needed to go, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute. How do I get home?" "Take the Schnooklin Bridge." "Schnooklin? You mean Brooklyn." "Nah." "Well, how do I get there?" "Just go left." So I took the Schnooklin Bridge. I found it. Wow, it was crazy and beautiful. And I'm driving along the Schnooklin Bridge, and all of a sudden the bridge disappears and I'm in pitch black. So I jump out of my taxi and I yell, "Help! Somebody get me out of here!" And then I look in the back seat and there's the remote control that he left behind. It's got two buttons, enter and exit. So which one do you think I pushed? The exit button. Well, that did the trick because I was right back in Times Square, good old New York. Well, from there, I raced home. I couldn't wait to tell my wife and family what had happened to me today. I burst through the door and I said, "I'm home." And my wife said, "Just in time. We're having tweetloaf and gravy." And I said, "Tweetloaf and gravy? You mean meatloaf and gravy, right?" And she said, "Nah, they're really popular on the other side of town." Oh boy. All right. I hope you enjoyed that story. It's one of my favorites. I think we're just in time for what's coming next on our backwards story time. Oh boy. Oh, Dr. Knickerbocker. Are you ready for this? It's going to be a challenge, so I really need your help. I'll sing the first line and you sing the second line, and we go back and forth until we're done. You ready? Dr. Knickerbocker, Knickerbocker, number 9. I just got back and I'm feeling fine. Now I've got the rhythm of the head tap tap. You've got the rhythm of the head tap tap. I've got the rhythm of the nose honk honk. You've got the rhythm of the nose honk honk. I've got the rhythm of the shoulders doo wop. You've got the rhythm of the shoulders doo wop. I've got the rhythm of the elbows bonk bonk. You've got the rhythm of the elbows bonk bonk. Tap tap, honk honk, doo wop, bonk bonk. Dr. Knickerbocker, Knickerbocker, number 9. I just got back and I'm feeling fine. Now I've got the rhythm of the hands clap clap. You've got the rhythm of the hands clap clap. I've got the rhythm of the finger snip snap. You've got the rhythm of the finger snip snap. I've got the rhythm of the tummy tap tap. You've got the rhythm of the tummy tap tap. I've got the rhythm of the hips. Ooh wee! See, I screwed it up. Now you've got the rhythm of the hips. Ooh wee! Clap clap, snip snap, tap tap. Ooh wee! Dr. Knickerbocker, Knickerbocker, number 9. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, a 6, a 7, a 8, and 9. I say a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, a 6, a 7, a 8, and 9. We did it! Almost. Thanks for your help. This next story is called The Mixed Up Chameleon by Eric Carle, and I hope you enjoy it. Once, there was a chameleon. Now, you know about chameleons, right? They're able to change color depending on their background. And here's a beautiful chameleon on a background of green, and the chameleon is green as well. Well, this chameleon would change colors all day depending on what it was sitting on. If it went across a nice brown tree, it would change into a nice brown color. And if it was on something red, it would change into a reddish color. Well, when the chameleon got hungry and a fly showed up, you know what would happen next. That chameleon's tongue would come right out, grab that fly, and the tongue would go in, and the fly would be gone. Well, all the chameleon had to do all day was change colors and eat flies. And the chameleon got a little bit bored. Now, when chameleons are not warm and when they're a little bit hungry, they turn into a different color, a grayish, whitish color. And this chameleon thought, I wonder what else is out there in the wide world. And so the chameleon went out strolling and found a nice zoo. Well, what animals do you know in the zoo? The chameleon saw some beautiful flamingos, and the chameleon thought, wow, if only I could be pretty like those flamingos. And no sooner had the chameleon wished that than it came true. And now the chameleon had 2 more legs and 2 beautiful pink wings. The next animal that the chameleon saw was a fox, and the chameleon thought, ooh, I want to be smart like the fox. And so the chameleon grew a beautiful foxy tail. And then the chameleon saw some fish in the water and thought, oh, if only I could swim like the fish. And so the chameleon grew these fins. And now the chameleon was starting to look a little bit mixed up. And then the chameleon saw some moose and thought, oh, if I could only be strong like the moose. Well, what other animals do we know in the zoo? Giraffes. Next, the chameleon saw a giraffe and thought, wow, that would be great if I could see things from such a distance just like a giraffe. And the chameleon grew a giraffe's neck. The chameleon kept wandering around and ran into a tortoise and thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a shell on your back? You could hide. And so the chameleon grew a shell. And then the chameleon saw an elephant and thought, you know what? That trunk looks pretty handy. You could do a lot with something like that. And so the chameleon changed its head into an elephant's head with a trunk. And then thought, wouldn't it be nice to be interesting like people? Because the chameleon saw some people at the zoo. And just then a wind picked up and blew a nice hat and an umbrella. There we go. And the chameleon thought, this is pretty strange. Well, things were okay with the chameleon, despite this strangeness. But you know what happened? A fly came buzzing by, and that chameleon was feeling pretty hungry. But there was no way to catch it. And the chameleon was upset. This trunk wasn't going to catch a fly. Whoops, we just lost something. And so the chameleon wished and wished and thought, if I could only be myself again. And the chameleon changed back to her old self. And there was that fly, and there was that chameleon's long tongue. And that chameleon had a nice meal at the end of it all. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. That's such a lovely story. And now, I know who we've been missing today. It's Ralph. Oh, Ralph! Hey. Hey, Ralph, how you doing? Fine. Are you ready to do some dancing and swimming, hopping, jumping? Who knows what we might do today? Yeah. All right. Well, let's get right to it. Oh, dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Good stopping. Oh, hop any way you want to. Hop any way you please. Hop any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Oh, swim any way you want to, swim any way you please. Swim any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Ralph, time to stop swimming. All right, you know what? After all that swimming and dancing and hopping, what do we like to do? Eat. Oh, is that right? How about you nibble and I'll go to sleep and take a rest, okay? Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, 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 sleep any way you want to. Sleep any way you please. Ralph, sleep anyway you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Oh, you woke us up with all that yelling. All right, listen, Ralph, I'll see you next time, okay? Bye. All right. Well, that was great to see Ralph, wasn't it? I've got some big announcements coming up, but first, hey, did we miss our theme today since we're going in a crazy backwards order? Well, here it is. It's, wait, no, there it is. All of our stories today have something to do with a word that starts with M. Do you know any words that start with M? Well, let's see. There's magic. That starts with M. There is Mercury. That's a great word that starts with M. And there are marigolds. Marigolds are my favorite flower. Did you know that? Marigolds start with M. But you know what? We don't have any stories today about marigolds, Mercury, or magic. We do have stories today all about being mixed up. And I think you've seen a bunch of them so far. Now, on with the show! We've got one more story coming up. And here it is. It's The End by David LaRochelle and Richard Igelski. And it goes like this. The end. That's a funny way to begin a story, isn't it? And they all lived happily ever after. They lived happily ever after because the soggy knight fell in love with the clever princess. The knight fell in love with the princess because she poured a big bowl of lemonade on top of his head. She poured a bowl of lemonade on top of his head because the knight's curly red beard was on fire. His curly red beard was on fire because he had been tickling a great green dragon. He had been tickling a great green dragon because the dragon would not stop crying. The dragon would not stop crying because 100 bunny rabbits had hopped into his cave and frightened him. 100 bunny rabbits hopped into the dragon's cave because they were trying to escape an enormous tomato rolling down the hill. An enormous tomato was rolling down the hill because it had been hit by a flying teacup. It had been hit by a flying teacup because a hungry giant was throwing a temper tantrum. The giant was throwing a tantrum because the cook did not make lemon cheesecake for dessert. Rude. The cook did not make lemon cheesecake for dessert because there were no lemons left at the market. And there were no lemons left at the market because once upon a time a clever princess decided to make a big bowl of lemonade. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. Well, it's just about time. Wait, how do we start this? I know. We like to kick things off with the Grand Old Duke. Are you ready? Oh, and remember, we're going to go faster and faster until one of us is out of breath. The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. You think you have it? Good. Let's speed things up. The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. Super fast! The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. Good job, everyone. All right. I think it's banjo time. Even a backwards story time needs a little banjo. Oh, it's good enough. Okay, now normally we say hello, but I thought today we might say goodbye with our song. So here's our special song, and if you want to clap along, that would be great. Clap everybody and say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Clap everybody and say goodbye. I'll see you again next time. I think you've got it. Let's see if I've got it, okay? Clap everybody and say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Clap everybody and say goodbye. Good, I'll see you again next time. Now, you know, I like to say goodbye in lots of other languages. Let's try Russian. Goodbye in Russian, до свидания. Here we go. Clap everybody and say до свидания, say до свидания, say до свидания. Clap everybody and say до свидания. I'll see you again next time. We've got time for a couple more. How about, what do we have here? How about Arabic goodbye? Ma salama, okay? Clap everybody and say ma salama, say ma salama, say ma salama. Clap everybody and say ma salama. I'll see you again next time. Last one, let's try Spanish. Adios. Clap everybody and say adios, say adios, say adios. Clap everybody and say adios. I'll see you again next time. All right. Take care. I'll see you next time.